Assalamu alaikum students, welcome back to Global Public School online classes. In our previous class we were talking about the entrepreneurship. We studied about the different functions of an entrepreneur. We studied about the different roles and importance of an entrepreneur. We studied some of the uh, self-employment opportunities, centers for the entrepreneurs, and which are the banks who are offering a loans to the entrepreneurs to start their own business, and what are the promotional agencies which is available. All that we studied in the last class of ours, but in this today's class we're going to study a little further about that. Let's see what is that. So in this class we're going to study the important entrepreneurs of India. We're going to study who are the important entrepreneurs of India and what are their achievements, which are their companies, how did they actually do that. All that we're going to study here in this class. Let's come to that point. Students, please try to find out the pictures of famous entrepreneurs of India. Hope you might have seen them. You can really identify a few pictures, right? Don't worry, in our coming slides we're going to read one by one about the famous entrepreneurs of India, which is actually there in your entrepreneurship lesson. The first famous business personality which we're going to talk here is Dr. Pratap Reddy. He himself a doctor. He actually established Apollo hospitals. He's the owner of Apollo hospitals, and the main objective, the main reason behind to start these hospitals was to provide the medical facilities even to the common man, even to the layman level. He wanted to provide the medical facilities at affordable cost, so that's why he started this hospital. And what is the achievement which he has done is, so far in India they have more than 750 plus branches all over India. And there's one more information which I would like to add up. So the Dr. Pratap Reddy's daughter is actually married to a South Indian superstar's son, that's Chiranjeevi's son. So Dr. Pratap Reddy is the owner or the chairman of Apollo hospitals, and they actually established this to provide medical facilities even to a common man, and they have more than 750 plus branches in India. And let's see the Apollo hospitals if you have not seen. And here is how he used to look in the earlier stages. Here is how the daughters of the Dr. Pratap Reddy, and here is how he started his small clinic, and he extended that into a big hospitals. Now this is how it looks like, Apollo hospitals. So the second personality which we're going to study in this is Naresh Goyal. So I hope you might be hardly listen to his name because he's not that famous. He's a personality where he wanted to hide. He is commonly liked to be an anonymous person than a celebrity person or than a great business person. So here the Naresh Goyal started his enterprise, that is Jet Airways, and the main intention of the Jet Airways was to provide a facility of flying in a plane to the layman, I mean to the common people, at a very affordable cost in the local side. I mean within in domestically, he had a dream that domestically people should travel in flights. So that was a dream because of which he started the main objective, operation of scheduled airways for domestic purposes. And achievement, it is India's largest domestic airways under the private sector. So the next personality what we're going to study here, I think you might be familiar with this face. He is Narayan Murthy, the founder of INFOSYS. I think in the software era he has created a revolution in the software era from the 1999, from when he started with the 6x6 room, and today across the world more than 28,000 plus employees are working. You can see here INFOSYS is established in 1999. It has over 5,000 employees by 2006. But if I want to see the recent reports, they have crossed more than 1 lakh of employees, which includes all the contract employees also. And the achievement here, what he has done, is the first institution to be listed under the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is a special organization where they actually list some of the important software companies across the world. So here is the first institution to listed under the NASDAQ. You can see INFOSYS, how exactly it started. The person who is sitting here is Narayan Murthy, and the wife of Narayan Murthy here is Sudha Murthy. She's also a great writer nowadays. And you can see how they started. Initially, this Narayan Murthy used to work in Amazon of America, and then they came back to India and they started their own business here. And here's how the INFOSYS used to look in the earlier days. But now, if you see the INFOSYS campus, they have the different styles of buildings: the washing machine building, the fridge building, and they have the cycling of building. Their buildings is designed in such a artistical way. And this is how they used to work. And this is how actually the seminar hall of the INFOSYS which is there in Electronic City. The next person which we're going to talk about here is Verghese Kurien, or we call it as Kurien or something. So he is also called as the father of white revolution, because I think initially they had a trend of selling the milk in a normal way. People hardly used to try for the milk packets. They had the trend of where the dudwala used to come, the milkman used to come, he used to take that milk from the cow and then he used to distribute across the places. But later the packet milk started, but that white revolution was actually started by this Verghese Kurien here. The enterprise of this Verghese Kurien is Amul Dairy Products. I think you might have heard the tagline of that, Amul Doodh Pita Hai India, is what the tagline of Amul, where you might have heard that commonly. So the achievements is helped in increasing the lakhs of liters of milk production. Initially the milk production was not that great, and the people were not enjoying a good amount of profit if they are actually having the dairy farms or something. But because of this white revolution, because of especially the Verghese Kurien, this industry started booming to that extent. So let's see how the Amul achievements are. You can see here how it was initially, then how the filtration process, all that used to happen. You can see the company. So these are the Amul products. You can see the milk, butter, cheese, all that. They have the multiple variety of products in Amul. So the next important entrepreneur, the famous personality which we're going to study here is Dhirubhai Ambani. As I said in the when I used to explain in the earlier classes, I think I told you about Dhirubhai Ambani had visited IDBI Bank for asking for the loan, but IDBI refused to give the loan because there was no proper securities. But today Reliance is in such a condition that they can buy 10 IDBI banks. So here let's see what is the Dhirubhai Ambani's enterprise. The first is Reliance Telecommunications is Dhirubhai Ambani's enterprise, and it is started as enterprise with just 50,000 in the year 1958. But now there's no other company can actually beat this company here. The achievements is Reliance Petrochemicals, Telecommunications, Information Technology, Textiles, etc. There's a lot of other important companies which is running around this Ambani foundations. The next great important thing which we're going to study about here is about Ambani, how in the initial days he was. He used to work in the textile industries, initially petrochemical industries. Later how he started his business, all that we can see here. The achievement of Reliance, the two sons of Dhirubhai Ambani, Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani. The secrets behind the Reliance success. You can see Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani here. And he is Mukesh Ambani. See in the previous pictures. Sorry students. Okay, you can see here he is Mukesh Ambani and he is Anil Ambani. So these two brothers, they actually separated their father's business, but later Mukesh Ambani got a big success in his business than the Anil Ambani. See, Mukesh Ambani launches a Reliance Jio 4G services, and now the Reliance communication is such a condition that nobody can beat them. And the next famous business personality which comes up here is the Azim Premji, Wipro, and the achievement, it is one of the largest software companies in India. Compared to any other software companies, maybe INFOSYS, it is also giving a neck-to-neck competition to INFOSYS, but the one thing is what it has been achieved as, it is one of the largest software companies in India. And the next, how exactly the footprints of Wipro, see here how the company actually started and what is the foundations, how they are actually helping the people. So here is the entrance gate of Wipro, which is there in Sarjapur Road. The next famous entrepreneur comes up here is Ekta Kapoor. I think most of us are familiar with these faces because of the serials which our parents watch. So the name itself says Ekta Kapoor. She is the daughter of Jitender, who was a famous actor in the earlier days. And the corporation, the enterprise what she has started is Balaji Televisions, and she's actually called as the Queen of Indian television sector. I think you might have, see, if I give you the names of the serials, that's when you will be easily recognize her, starting from the Ghar Ghar Ki Kahani, Kasauti Zindagi Ki, till then the story which is running till here, the Pavitra Rishta, the Kumkum Bhagya, Kundali Bhagya, is all the serials which has been running and coming in the Balaji telefilms. And Ekta Kapoor is the founder of this organization, and she's been called as the Queen of the Indian television sector. And the achievement is the Best Entrepreneur Award in the year 2001. And the next personality which is coming up here is Kiran Mazumdar Shah. She actually made a very special role in the special enterprise that's Biocon. I think very few people started the company in the rented house at 1978. It's all about the beauty products. And achievement, the first women to start an enterprise is in the biotechnology field. This is what the greatest achievement which has been done by the Kiran Mazumdar Shah. So till here we studied about the famous business personalities and their enterprises, and when they started all that, how was their footsteps, how initially, what was their earlier stage, all that we studied here. And we are coming to the end of your lesson, that's entrepreneurship. I want you to read this lesson, revise this, and at the end I want you to write the explanatory notes of roles, characteristics, functions, importance of an entrepreneur, and the self enterprises which an entrepreneur can start, and what are the banks which can give a loans to the self enterprises, and what are the promotional organizations, and what are the famous entrepreneurs of India, who are the famous entrepreneurs of India, along with their companies and details. I want you to write all the details in your notes and submit it through the Google Classroom app, students. Till then, signing off. Stay safe, stay home, and keep your learning button on. Thank you so much, students.